into the full moon in Leo 2025 breakdown. How's it been for y'all so far this year of 2025, in the Lord's year, as they would say? I've definitely been seeing and coming into a lot of changes, revelations, and more ever since we started this grand old year. But the other thing that I really want to kind of get across in terms of how this full moon in Leo is about to be, we need to remember that at the core of all life is creation. And one of the core components of being a human in the world is being able to constantly create, to constantly invent, to reinvent, right? So far, I'm seeing chaos has been happening thus far, right? Lots of purging. I myself have typically been a public facing person in terms of like my thoughts on things or like the full information about everything. But even myself has been in this like overload of just too many things happening in too many directions, and also trying to be available to hear those main differences, right? I just figured out pretty much yesterday that even in my own circumstances, it's only been a month since the actual fires first started. They just got put out a little bit ago, right? So the reason why I'm mentioning this is because there's change. At the core of all creation is change. And this really sticks to the Aquarius and Leo axis of things, right? To where Aquarius wants to change on behalf of the kingdom, right? The sun. The sun is an Aquarius. So we've been in this position to where it's like, what do the people think? What are the people feeling? What are the people interpreting, right? But the Leo side of things is like, where's our heart at about stuff? Where is your heart at about everything? Are you just agreeing with the common core of what the world is saying, or do you have something a little different? Have you been constantly creating because you've been wanting to, or have you been creating in a sense where you've had to create, right? One of the things that I find so interesting about when you're growing up, or like when you're a little one in general, you're first like figuring out the world, is that your imagination at that point is so vast and so intangible. As a matter of fact, it's almost as if there was no presentation of what the kingdom or what the hoopla or what the larger part of society had to say yet. And because of that, we have a more grounded and understood approach, so to speak. Now, when we get to, let's say, again, this full moon in Leo, what is this reminding us of? Well, I truly believe true manifestation only comes through when you acknowledge the heart of your inner child. Like I genuinely believe that. There is a certain part of imagination. There is a certain part of belief. There is a certain part of just like knowing in your heart that things are going to work out okay. And then they do, right? And that's something that you hear across the board, no matter if you're into astrology, if you're a spiritual person, if you're religious, you don't believe in anything in terms of what's outside of it, what's in front of us, we still all know that love's real. We still all know that romance exists. We still all know that if someone has like or gives birth to a child for the first time, that connection that pops there is something that is unmatchable to anything else. So why are these matters of the heart so important to us? Whereas maybe some others aren't as much, or I don't want to say are less important, but what really impacts us? What do we care about? You know what I'm saying? What's good, Jeremiah? He said, what's up? I feel like the world needs us right now to unleash art and creativity and create healing for ourselves and others. You couldn't say that any better, my brother. Listen, I appreciate you bringing that up and bringing that straight through with the love for real, because like that's this full moon in Leo, I like genuinely hope like sets off like a art renaissance. I really hope like my hope and where my heart of hearts is at. I hope that like between the state of the world, between the way everything else. Like, I hope a renaissance is starting. And I think the person, if there's anyone who's going to start it off, it's going to be today at the Super Bowl, which I'm sure you might watch in the next few hours, right? With Kendrick Lamar. Now, when it gets to this full moon in Leo, one more time, let's circle back just so I get the focus. Appreciate the love for y'all. See y'all in here. I just want to make sure I focus on this because, you know, I've been feeling a lot. And as someone who is here to deliver messages to y'all based off of like what I interpret and perceive of things, like I've been feeling so much that I've been like starting to actually try to get back into my creativity, you know what I'm saying? So like been making sure to make more music again when I have my downtime, right? Making sure that I try to like spend a little extra time making the services a little bit more intricate and intentional. Speaking of, for any of y'all who are here and want to get a mini reading for this new moon in Leo, I'm sorry, full moon in Leo, apologies. But for this full moon in Leo, if any of y'all want to get a mini reading, I do have the mini queue open like I normally do. However, I also have a new subscription that I opened up. Now, the subscription itself is for 2 of these live stream, it's not the live stream classes, but you're going to get mini readings directly to your inbox every month. So I realized one thing, and this is a folly of my own way. As a triple fire sign and someone who has to work for like different avenues between me doing readings, between me doing my own work, and between me also writing and editing horoscope stuff, there's been a lot that's been going on in my world. So I wanted to be able to have something that was more concrete and provide and really set an entire day aside for everyone who ends up popping through to these. So I can really give you like a true heart-fueled message and transmission for every new moon and full moon. So I have this up. I believe it's the monthly mastery membership, right? So if you want, or moon mastery membership, apologies. So you have the moon mastery membership, and if you want to sign up for that, most of my mini readings have been anywhere between 25 to 30. This, if you just want to get it streamlined, it's not going to be live either. I have your chart in front of me. I'm going to be sending it directly to you. So we're going to get a lot more personalized in those, right? I know sometimes y'all bring up some stuff while I'm live. I don't like putting everyone's personal business out there, especially because like that's not part of the game. So I just wanted to let you know that is one of those new things that I'm implementing, and I'm slowly implementing a lot of the other things that I've been meaning to throughout this last astrological year, because I just want to make sure that I have the bandwidth to show up for y'all the way that y'all need me to show up. And I also want to be able to make sure I have time allotted to myself to restore, be restorative, do my art and stuff like that. And I love y'all. I've had an amazing 6 years straight of like doing this astrology. I just had realized that I was like, I have been living in imposter syndrome still for too long, right? I have had some readings in the last bit, and it didn't matter if I was going through the worst part, if I was going through the best part. Like, one thing about these readings is that as soon as I start really breaking down the astrology, I like forget myself. You know what I mean? So as I start like doing this, there's something that is more magical and greater than me about this. But I am blessed and honored to be able to help like move these conversations through, to help open up the doors and gates and hearts of people, right? I don't want to get super deep into it, but I will briefly mention this. Like yesterday, I had a reading with someone, a man about 70 years old, never got an astrology reading before. I just approach it whatever. Like, I like old people. I like everybody. I don't really got no issue. If you good people, you good people. That's how I was raised, to be honest. So, I'm talking to him, and I'm obviously reading this chart, and it bugged me out because it was a very self-aware person. But at the very end of it, he was like, "Hey, like I've always felt why I felt as far as who I am," but he's like, "But now I know why the stars made me that way too." And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, after that reading, I started bawling, just the tears to my eyes. I started crying. I was like, oh my gosh, it's been a really It was a very like emotive thing to hear and to see and to watch someone kind of like go through their 70 years thus far and counting for more and more, and to kind of have this understanding that's very different than they may have had when they were younger, or something along the lines of that. And I bring this up to you because, like, as someone who's been creative and has been pushing a constant output, I haven't honestly been able to give myself the space to like really make a project, right? I think last year was the first year. Was wow, no, I haven't dropped music in the last 2 years of my life. I used to put out a project every single year, no matter what, right? I was granted learning a lot then, and now there's a different type of professionalism. And I'm telling you this story in terms of this to reflect it back to you, like, what have you had to like fall off on in terms of your creativity? Because the full moon of Leo wants you to bring that back. Because literally now more than ever, we need to have the people who are making the art. We need to have people who are speaking from their heart. We are in a very disheartening reality in the form of what's going on in this world, specifically in the US. If you are in the US, you know that there's a very big up and down. Depends on how you're looking at it. Depends on what side of it you're apparently on for a lot of it. But this is one of those situations and circumstances. So I wanted to kind of just give y'all some context as to how that full moon's working in terms of that energetic, and keep it pushing from there. Okay. So I'm not doing a bunch of stuff with I'm not clicking through a bunch of the astrology today. I really just wanted to like really tap in with y'all instead. I wanted things to like resonate. I've been really happy to see how far things have come, and just to watch, especially some of y'all who have been keeping up with me, or like tell me about your triumphs and things that happen in life. It's just so, I'm so proud. So it's just like see how despite all of the BS that's going on in the world, like y'all are still kicking it strong. Y'all are still choosing to make the most out of everything. Y'all are still choosing to put your energy forward, right? AW just said you put your tarot practice on hold, but you feel the desire to bring it back and create a business. Well, guess what? That's not a call for no reason. And to be so fair with this full moon in Leo, you're gonna be called to do stuff that only you could do. Now that's something that I vastly underestimated for a long time, to where it's like you might be trying to look at what's the best in your field, or who's this, or comparing yourself, everything else, right? But I feel like we vastly underestimate the amount that we specifically pick up, right? Or we specifically are so good at, right? So yeah, you might be feeling, yo, I want to bring the tarot business back into order. Nothing is stopping you aside from your own mind, truly. And that's the hardest part. Like the thing with the Aquarius energy is that we get so caught up in what is the status quo that we know it to a T, right? Before I started doing astrology, tarot, intuitive readings, the whole have you for other people, right? I used to be terrified, you know what I'm saying? I came up in Catholic school, stuff like that. Right. Now granted, I definitely got kicked out of a handful of Sunday schools, but that's neither here nor there. Happy Sunday, everybody. I was asking about the real Lord. I don't know what they were saying. That's not the point. What I can say though, right? Is that like we are, like, life is so curated as to like what it is that you want to bring out, but we get so focused on all the things that aren't working in our timing. And I'm not saying this is on some holier than thou type deal. This is just what I think is part of the momentum. I think this is part of the reason why like the heart of things interact the way they do. You know, um, Joyous once said, "Yeah, that's the spirit. You're gonna slay putting out your special skin serum this spring. Amazing. Put that out. You know what I'm saying? Phoenix still flying, and you're gonna slay the DJ competition. Okay, go ahead and do that. And I think the reason why we don't often know we can do our dreams, because we don't get that cheer and that clap from the status quo, right? The thing about Leo that I really pointed out, and I think, what's homie's name? What is homie's name? I'm so bad at names when I need to do that. I'm so bad at reading names and just thinking of people's names off the top of my head. I have queer astrology. No, queer cosmo. My fault. I'm screwing this up. 1 second. I want to make sure I give homies due credit. 1 second. Queer Cosmos, Colin. Okay. Sorry. So Queer Cosmos, I believe he's the one who brought this up the first time. Shout out to you, Colin, if you're watching this. Really like your content for real, like real talk. Like that's one of the real ones out here. So shout out to him. But what I can say to get into something that he brought up, I'm pretty sure it was him, but it was like Leo is just as engaged as a participant watching someone go be great as much as they are engaged when they are performing and are the person who's supposed to pull up and be great. And I never really put that encapsulation together, but that's really what's kind of going on. This full moon in Leo isn't just how am I going to be the best? How do you support your homies the best? Your real people. Now, here's the thing. You got to know the difference between who's actually your homie and who just likes what you can do, right? And I think that we've had a problem in the last 5 years, like ever since, honestly, like the shutdown. I think we've had a really big problem as a society and people not being able to be honest about what it is that they actually need with stuff like that, right? Because on one end of things, right, we have the circumstance and the situation to where some people are actually, here's the easiest way to put it. Some people think they want to be in a relationship with somebody until they find out that like their partner snores, or the person that they're doing that they snore terribly, right? A lot of y'all be wanting to be like, oh, I want to have my like happily ever after with this person, not realizing that they have several things that give you the ick, even though you might love them or whatever the case is. But true love really stands in when love overrides things that are menial, that are human, that are stupid, that are not sticking to the core cause of what's going on. So with this full moon in Leo, what's also being invoked back in you is letting yourself know what it is that you truly want, what it is that you're willing to change, right? I do not have Leo in my chart. No, I just grew my hair out. I'm all the other fire though. I do not have Leo in my chart though, but I appreciate it. Single as a Pringle and happy. And that's the other side of things too. Where like, if you think a relationship is the deciding factor of your happiness, you're screwed from the beginning. And I know like that's not the popular thing to say. And I know like obviously, which is why it's all honestly taking me so long to just do straight up love readings, because like I feel like there's so much, not for everybody, but for certain situations, like there's so much for us to work through as a society, because like we don't even know how to treat one another as people sometimes, let alone be in a whole relationship, let alone setting enough time aside for not only yourself but for an entire other individual and pour that love in. Some of y'all just want to get laid, and that's okay. And that's okay. We are past this, shaming for wanting to do that. And if you're not personally, that's cool. But I am of the ilk of people need to like live their life, enjoy themselves, explore how it's supposed to be explored, as long as everyone is enjoying what's going on, as long as everyone's hearts are being fulfilled, as long as no one's getting their heart broken for no good reason whatsoever. Now, granted, sometimes we have our heartbreaks. Maybe that person that you had a big crush on don't like you back. Ooh, that hurts. But you can recover. You know what I mean? Like, you could recover. And I think with Leo, part of the bravery and the focus of courage that really occurs with Leo is like, yo, maybe I did flop on stage that time, but I'm going to get up again to go do it. Man, I just got booed off of stage. That's crazy. But I'm still gonna, get myself together and hop up and say something meaningful and say something strong and be still brave and still be courageous and still show up with your power, right? Now, the main thing that's happening is that it's like, which I say a lot, honestly. That's one of my motif words, or things that I say as an astrologer. You pick up on certain words to get yourself back into the into the vibe. It's like freestyling in that way. For those who get it, y'all get it. But what I can say to lead us back to this whole scenario, let's talk about Aquarius season real quick, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, this is the first Aquarius season that we're having since Pluto is staying in Aquarius. We had it before last year, and I remember being really hype about it because I'm like, oh, we're about to see some new stuff about to pull up. And guess what? All the things that I was talking about then, in terms of AI, in terms of literally mentioning like the names of the characters that are popping up. I mentioned everybody at that point. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all who've been watching, I saw a video at some point. Someone was like, "Yeah, for my long-term subscribers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You guys have been here the entire time." And I started laughing because I'm like, that is really how it goes. But the genuine part to this though is like, where's your joy? How can you find your joy? Right? I start chuckling to myself because the world is absurd. Like, let's be honest. The world is absurd. I really had this thought the other day. It was one of those like just occurred to me where I'm like, the world has always been this like equal levels screwed up and equal levels beautiful. And I really think depending on how and where you're resonating from and your intentions and how much you're showing up in your power depends on how other people also interact with that, right? So all this to say, for this full moon in Leo, I just want y'all to remember that like y'all are meant to be creative. And that doesn't mean you have to be a content creator. And that doesn't mean you have to jump up and be a painter and quit your job and call whatever. And now, granted, if you're feeling called to do that, you might want to. Because this Aquarius age is going to start really honoring the brave. This full moon in Leo is going to start honoring the brave again. This is the first Aquarius season since Pluto went into Aquarius. How much has the game changed since Pluto went into Aquarius? I need this to be pointed out. I need this to be pointed out. I've been mad calm about it. How much has the world changed since Pluto went into Aquarius? How many things have we seen that we've been told would never occur since Pluto went into Aquarius? Right? I don't even know, like, just because I haven't been paying attention to it, I don't even know if it's technically Black History Month right now. But guess what? We making it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things like that. What's good, House Cat? Getting ready for work. I appreciate y'all from coming in at any given point. You know what I'm saying? Whether you watching this from work, whether you watching it, first of all, if you're getting bread while watching me, congratulations. I'm doing the best way, doing the best I can. You know what I'm saying? Like it's it's a beautiful thing to be able to connect in this Aquarius way. And Aquarius again, to be also so fair. I think Aquarius is also starting to create this sense of I was gonna say lonely. Then I was gonna say solitude. But I don't think either of those are like truly what I'm trying to get at. There's this need to step outside of what you think and to step inside of what you feel. And apologies for y'all having to like watch me do that a second ago. Just slow things down and really like feel out how I was feeling and see where that was coming from. And that does resonate, right? Speaking of, I'm actually doing this early because I'm trying to do in general, I want to ideally do my live streams for this earlier. I've been really going back and forth with how I want this format to be because I've been so hyper conscientious about making sure that it fits and suits the needs of all y'all who want to come through and to get some more insights. And granted, I always come on live to tell y'all about everything, but I know like, I have clients from all types of walks of life and etc. And as I'm growing as an astrologer, I have a recent, I'll talk about it later on, but I have a recent feature where I have my biography is now on astrology.com. I think that's really cool because it was what happened with me. It is actually a full moon Leo moment. So let me actually expound on this a little bit. So basically I've been working with them for the past few months. Like it's been several months, right? Between me either being in front of the camera explaining some astrology or like working on some back end things for the last bit, which is my other stuff, right? Um, but I'm actually going to be. I don't even know if I'm supposed to announce it, but we gonna do it either way. But I'm going to be writing the horoscope for March for astrology.com. And I remember when I first started my journey online in general for this, I was like, the reason why I truly did social media, and since I've been taking like a break for the last week and some change, I've been able to really think about it. But the real reason why I went into social media to begin with, if I'm being super transparent with y'all, is because I was like, yo, I've never seen anybody black do this and be successful at it, like fully. Now, now as an astrologer, I've seen many, and just in the last few years, I've seen many beautiful astrologers, my skin tone darker and more like really start to pull up, queer, straight, whatever. I love seeing us. Happy Black History Month for real. I love everybody, but the astrology as I see it is it was an ancestral look as well. That's a different conversation for a different time. But what I can say in terms of this, like at the time, I was like, yo, I've never seen none of that. The only person that I saw that used to like be on here for real on YouTube, and I have to, I always give him his credit where it's due. But the only person who like did that for real was my boy Mike. Shout out to Peace Dealer. He was the first astrologer that used to just be live every day, not every day on YouTube, but he was just like live all the time. And I was like, what? But I used to join him all the time, and I had a great time. And I was like, I would love to be able to provide something similar. Obviously, I'm not going to take everything from that, and that's just someone who I consider like my genuine homie type deal in terms of like just being in this field and really being about this work, right? Um, but yeah, I think one of the things about it is that like that was the only person that I saw really be constant at that time. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to hop up in a live stream. And I don't think people understand. I used to be in people's live streams, typing and commenting and interacting with everybody. That's what I was doing. I didn't have the bravery to show my face and talk about what I really cared about. There's too many things. Like I was worried about what is everyone else going to think, right? The typical stuff, right? I'm a young kid. I'm cute. What are the ladies going to think? Oh no. Like I hope that they don't think it's weird or like some other stuff. Like some people are really into it. They like it a lot. Some people I say I'm an astrologer. They have all types of other like convolutions and things that they think, right? But at the end of the day, what this full moon of Leo is about is getting back to the heart of things. As I explain these things, I'm getting back to the heart of things, right? As you're hearing these things, you're feeling the heart of things. And I'm not trying to sway you one way or another. I'm not trying to make you think this way. I'm not trying to like whatever the case. Like it's really just like that's what that is. This is what resonance of the Leo vibration sounds like. Does it sound confident? Sure. Does it sound short? You're damn right. But the main thing about it is that like you're feeling into this evolution that's really like gearing into the heart. So yeah, like 6 years ago, I started off doing that. Shout out to homie for like convincing me, like, hey bro, just make your first video. Just keep it going from there. You know? And it's been really cool because I got into it because I'm like, I didn't see no faces like that. So to go from 6 years ago and like 6 years ago where I didn't know what was going on to 6 years later to where I'm literally like on the actual.com of the field that I'm in. It's been a blessing. I'm very excited to I've done all the research I needed to write it properly, but I'm excited to finally sit and really write it out. Take it super serious and do my best for it. You know what I mean? But it's been a beautiful thing. So yeah, and that's a 6 year cycle. 6 year cycle. A lot of things change in that time frame. But here's the thing. I have to kind of like tell you, like, there are times that like, you do put down the paintbrush. You do stop making the music for 2 years so you can get right into your astrology world and to focus on something, Do you stick to YouTube exclusively or multiple social platforms? That's a good question. My biggest platform is actually Instagram. I ended up going viral after being shadow banned for being honest about the astrology of things. Instagram did not like that very much a few years back. So I actually ended up going viral on Instagram, uh, even though I was shadow banned. And so I actually broke my shadow ban by just doing too well. And that I thought was really funny. I have a really interesting relationship with social media, and I've worked in social media for a long time. So because it's promotion at this point, I'm a marketing guy. That's what my actual background is in outside of astrology. So this kind of like makes sense. But primarily on Instagram, but I've been quiet. YouTube is what I care about the most, if that's what you're asking. If I had to say F everything else and like you show up for one thing and that would make me happy, is YouTube every time. It's YouTube every time. Because YouTube I can just be. This is my channel. You know what I'm saying? This you we are kicking it in the office, you know what I'm saying? This is the studio. We're having a good time. Versus like Instagram is about a curation. Instagram, you have to have a certain aesthetic. Instagram, you have to have like certain things right. I obsess about little details that other people don't, because I know the difference between like decent, good, and great. And sometimes I do decent stuff. Sometimes I settle. I'm not gonna lie. sometimes I'm like, it's good enough. I'm tired, right? But the full moon of Leo is again trying to almost like show us like, here's how much fire you have. You can use all the fire that you have doing one thing, or you can use all the fire that you have to continuously like burn that flame for yourself. And I think what's going on is that we're learning how to burn the flame for ourselves. The problem I had coming up, and this isn't me judging myself, but it was that like I mean I still struggle to this to a certain extent, to where it's like I really want to help. Like I really want to like help change people's views of themselves, because I think that society has us all screwed up about things that didn't exist in an older world, right? Like no one was worried about what are they wearing, what do they look like, what's the stuff. No one cared about that before. For real, you were just living your life, right? So many of the fickle facade, other stuff, right? And I think you just add even to your question before, where you're like, is there any other platforms I use? I missed the TikTok wave. I missed the TikTok wave when there was a gold rush. You know what I'm saying? I am not good at picking up my phone. I'm not good at picking up my phone, opening it up, and then being like, "Hey guys, here's what's going on." I hate it. Right? In real life, I'm a really big guy. When I see like the actual like it distorts me. It makes me have like dysmorphia. It screws me up. Right? And I think one of the things about the other side to this Leo stuff is that this is the end of like you not being able to really see yourself, to like really see yourself and to really care about yourself and to really love yourself for like what that is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what society talks us out of all the time. It talks you out of what you should love and who you should love. And oh, you're happy with that person? Well, they're not of this culture. Oh, you're happy with that person? Well, they're the same orientation as you. Or you get the point. Like there's all these type of isms and BS. But if you stick to your heart of hearts, if you love yours truly, if you love on the people that you love really, and you stop being a little bitch about it, yeah, I said it, you stop being that and like let yourself be vulnerable. You get what I'm saying? Because it's more of a soft move to not express your emotions than it is to like try to bottle it up. You know what I'm saying? And as someone who has been taught to genuinely bottle it up forever, you get what I'm saying? I refuse, and I think that's why a lot of people have gravitated to here. So thank y'all for honoring the Leo and myself of trying to like step up to the step up and push things forward, because like that's what I want to support back to y'all. I too am a active supporter best I can. I don't always have the bandwidth for everything because I be busy. Like I used to be like I used to be hypothetically busy. I think this is what happens. I think there was a time frame where I was really not like, there was a lot of space and time that I had, and I was like always looking for something, and everyone was just like, "Oh, he's busy. Like, I know he's doing his stuff. He's so busy." And I was just like bored out of my mind, just like looking around, like, "Yo, I don't know if anybody even cares, right? Then it'd be like these time frames where like everybody pop through. It's just a funny thing where it's like as soon as you're like, man, things are getting kind of busy. That's cool, and then they like just like triple on themselves. I used to be hypothetically busy, like I said. Now I'm real life busy. So, but if I have stuff in between, I obviously spend it just like working on a craft. And I am going to say this: I am a ill as reader for birth chart stuff. Oh my gosh, I be in my bag. It's a beautiful time. It's my favorite thing to do. The reason why I'm harping on this and just really telling you about stuff that I also like and enjoy, because that's what the full moon of Leo is about. Why aren't you telling people what you enjoy? Why aren't you telling people about your triumphs and hardships? What are you so scared about? I used to be terrified to say this shit. Are you serious? What? I used to be terrified to be like, hey, yo, this is really what I think about stuff. But we're not in that world no more. We're not in that world no more. So, what world are you going to help build as we enter deeper into this 2025? Right? I just watched half, not half, that's not true, but I watched a large portion of like every place I used to kind of go to whenever I was really like needing some time to like process stuff just burned down. there's there's a new change that's really pulling through. And so it's like, what are you doing to come from the ashes? What are you doing to show off your power? Like, what new things are you supposed to find in order to bring that joy? Because joy is always available, but we do have to let ourselves feel it through. And you can't start feeling joy if you don't let yourself feel to begin with. That's a bar, and I'm gonna end it there because that's cool. I'm about to go do my BRB thing. Make sure I'm gonna send the link over. I'm gonna grab some water because I always forget to, and I will be back shortly. I'm gonna click the button. This is not optimized yet, so please hold. I am hydrating, Heather. I do have to get back to you, Loki. I know, like I saw you messaging me. I gotta get back to you, honestly. Okay, so now we're here. I feel like I left all that. Anyway, I'm back. Have some water because hydration is important as I'm learning in my adult world. But what am I looking for? Oh, they're the cards. I found them. Okay. We're gonna get into the cards. So someone asked earlier, is he doing readings, the live mini ones? Yes, I am. I'm having the mini readings like I normally do, and I also have my live reading subscription for those of y'all who don't want to have any question about it or like when's it gonna get here, anything else. Like if you get the live one, or I'm sorry, if you get the subscription for these live readings, you are gonna get it 3 days before the new and full moon every time, no matter what. Like that's the point. I just want to be able to keep it way more accountable on my end, and still give y'all even better information. Honestly, I get to zone in. But yeah, so I am doing the live readings at the end. So if you want to actually sign up for that, let me pull this up right now on this site. Again, as you can see, I'm trying new stuff, so you know it be like that sometimes. 1 second. Here y'all go. I know technology sucks right now. Not right now. Technology is great But sometimes technology is hard to navigate unless you were literally like born into it, raised by it, molded by it. You know, if you're Pluto and Libra and on, you probably have like a decent like understanding of it a lot more. You know. Uh, oh, Heather, I literally know you. That's why I was playing. I feel no type of way, Heather. Come on, like we literally just talk. Like we talk every week, bro. I don't got no problem. You know that. Come on. That was a sad situation. Purely and other. So no worries in the slightest. You know it's all love for real, for real. Mini readings. So these are the ones at the end of the live stream, and I have a few more that are rolling over from last week that I'm doing first, just to let you all know. But then afterward, I'm going to be picking all that up. But it was that situation that led me to be like, let's do the subscription, because then you basically pay less money that you would for both, and then you get it way ahead of time. Anyway, enough of my marketing itself. Let's get into what we want to get into, right? Wait, what's it? Karis said, watch the brick by brick this morning. It reminded me of you a little. What better way to see the come up of Pharrell than with Legos? I have to see the Pharrell Lego movie. I for real have to watch that. Pharrell, actually, to be so fair, Pharrell and Chad are a huge inspiration to me. Ironically, I'm not saying Chad as in myself. I mean Chad Hugo. A big Neptunes fan growing up. Yeah. Shout out to Nerd. NERD for real. Okay. What's up, Dion? How you living? I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. I like doing lives when I'm still awake. I love doing lives when it's still daytime because like I know there's be different time zones. I be trying sometimes. My bandwidth be like off, and I'm like, all right, just one more hour. We just do a live stream. Meanwhile, right now I'm like, hey everybody, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. All right. Heather, you good? I'm messing with you. You're good. You're good. You're good. We're good. I definitely have to watch the Lego movie though. All right, so this one will be for everybody. I've been yapping too much. Let's dig in. The card that I have for all the people. Ooh, let's get it. Okay, correction. There is a let's get it part to this. Now, here's the thing. There is some rest and recoup that is also very important. But the rest and recoup is important because the big changes that roll in. You know what I'm saying? What's good, Emperor Larry? How you living? The other parts of this, right? The four of swords again with the rest part, and then we hit the eight of wands. Eight of wands is the quick card. You know, one of my clients like, oh, that's the fast card. Make things just shifts card, right? And it's true because like the eight of wands is like maybe I didn't know that this next level, excuse me, was even possible, but the eight of wands is like boom, we're moving things forward. You get what I'm saying? No, just coming on now. I have to catch the yapping on the replay. That's okay. I've been a little more clear today. I was mentioning before, I've been doing these during the day and I'm not as tired. That's part of why I was taking more times in myself than I typically do. I actually was trying to get the recoup I needed. So hopefully that's being shown today. Appreciate y'all for always dealing with my random fire sign shenaniganery one way or another. Okay. Now, the other parts of this. When it comes to this full moon in Leo as a full, there's joy and celebration to be had, but there's a huge clearing that's happening for that. Now, what I'm getting from this, right, is that like your enlightenment and ascension has nothing to do with what people told you was supposed to make you happy. My fault. I just actually heard myself. But it's true. But it's true. Because it's not about what people told you is supposed to make you happy. It's about what makes you happy. How has that changed? Did it change? Has it changed? Have you not evolved? Does ye not evolve to the times at hand? I know you do. You're watching this. There's no way you don't. You know, like if you're spending an hour of your life watching me every week, then you're in the know. There's this is a very specific audience, you know. But yeah. So here's the vibe that I'm gonna start doing. Let's actually start to hit. I'm gonna hit one more for everybody. Then I'm gonna get into the science. Yeah. Then I'm gonna get into the readings if there are any. If not, that's also okay. I haven't checked again yet, but I know times is trying because what the f. But also, the clarity still be kicking. So just let me know. All right. What else? So we have the high priestesses, right? But here's the kicker. Your heartbreak, that feeling of like overwhelmed, that feeling of like, oh man, guess what? High priestess. Heartbreak often comes with that feeling of heartbreak or that feeling of like, oh my God, or what's going on? If it's linear or not, that often comes before true transformation, like true and guttural transformation, right? There's a reason why like highs and lows exist in that way. So just know that like the whatever pain point that you're going through, whatever situation that you're feeling where like that is a strong feeling, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. But your intuition is gonna guide you through. And listen to it a lot more than you think you should. But yeah. So okay. Let's get into it, right? All right. You wanna know what? I'm finna go in order today. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go in order today. And we're gonna go by rising sign. I never go in order. We're gonna go in order today. That's what we're gonna do. Appreciate y'all helping each other in the comments and stuff too. It's always cool to see y'all do that. All right. I know I be having to zone in sometimes because I be just you know. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Aries because I want an order. Yeah, I'm being whimsical by going by the rules. How about that? No one expected that. All right. It's gonna be for Aries. Aries rising, specifically, but moon and sun as well. My readings are going to be way more for rising sign moving forward. I know some of y'all don't have your rising sign for real. If you need to get your rising sign for real, sit with me. I will find it. I'm really good at that. But like, rising sign is going to be the core part of this. Now, for Aries rising and yonder of Aries energy, right? You have the King of Wands. This is your actualization. All of the magic and vibes and passions and projects and thoughts and ideas that you've had, you're starting to not just move forward, but people are wanting more. People are starting to see the potential that you've been knowing that you have. People want to like feel into what it is that you're doing and what you're being about. And how are you being so creative and passionate and this, that, and there. Ace of Swords. This is to cut out the BS. The Ace of Swords is to give the information to the real, but to cut out the BS with great prejudice, so to speak. If that also pops up, right? One of the main things about this King of Wands energy that I'm getting from this Aries is that it's like you still have to protect the kingdom, you still have to protect your own, you still have to make sure that your ideas stay sacred, and that those passions that you have also stay sacred. But Aries, this full moon of Leo is going to remind you of the king and queenship that you've been entitled to by just being the strength of yourself to its fullest as it happens, and as you embrace your multiplicity as it occurs. So that's for Aries. Okay, let's get it. I'm aiming for more profound. We're just going for it, right? Stop questioning the spirit. Just let it flow. Taurus. Let's see what we got for Taurus. For Taurus. I don't know if this is like a across the nation thing, but I grew up on the East Coast, and in my head, I think it's NPR. I don't remember, but it's just like Delilah. I don't know why I just thought about that. If someone's name here is Delilah, please tell me what it's like in New York City, but not in the way that the original person intended the song. I just want to know what it's like. I do know what it's like. I'm riffing again. I'm doing the thing I do sometimes. I apologize. I would have been a comedian if they paid me for it, but they won't. So I'll do astrology instead. All right. Let me see. So let's see this, right? Taurus. Sorry, guess what? Oh, sorry, Taurus. I'm both a Taurus and I'm like, you got work to do. And I'm like, oh no, Taurus, you got work to do. Right. I think one of the Taurus homies that I know even like moved like a bit ago. So with that being said, shout out to you, Sav, if you're here. But what I can say, right, is that the 10 of Wands is to really like push forward this work. Not that you've been pushing off, but you've been procrastinating on. Not because you can't do it, because you know just how much work it's supposed to be, right? You didn't miss everything. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all, but this is why I go live. I don't like sending recordings to people later on. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of like, as an astrologer, creative, and the neurodivergence that gives me the genius to be able to like really channel this stuff. I love it. It's great. I appreciate it. I'm honored. But like doing stuff like that every once in a while. All right. So to get back on to the other part, right? Taurus. I'm going Taurus. These are the rising signs. Well, thank you, Heather, for keeping up. But the Queen of Cups, right? The Queen of Cups on the other side of this Taurus is like you have to emotionally be ready for any of the changes that come about. And why I say this is because the changes that come about, Taurus, not you, Siri, but the changes that comes about in terms of your world are really relying on like your instincts. It's really relying on your instincts and what it is that you want to build. So I think that there's a part of you, Taurus, that wants to embrace this soft era. And like, of course y'all do, right? Like the soft era that I'm just pretty and sitting and I just have a mimosa and I'm having a nice time, right? But the work required needs you to be at that energy, at that peace first, at the understanding of the feelings first. And that's how that all goes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't got nothing else to say, Taurus. It's good. Pretty good pull. I don't got there's nothing else. Just embrace your inner beauty. Get all Venusian with it. Y'all know what to do. I don't gotta tell y'all. Okay. Delilah. Alright. So we're gonna go to Geminoski. Alright, Geminoskis. What do you need to know? Is this Western astrology? You darn sure it is. I am to be transparent. I know a lot of people are coming in from all different times, so like never take any of my quips outside of that. I'm a Sag. I just like to have a good time and to give the info to the people. So I know sometimes it comes all sassy, and I'm like, wait, you might actually be new here. I don't want to disrespect nobody because like I appreciate like I am still the kid who started this off in his room in my head. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh wait, this is actually someone who like really is asking a question. Please let me actually inform them. So like I want to make sure that you're informed and I'm not just trolling everybody. So like, yes, I am a tropical astrologer. I'm a Western tropical astrologer. I primarily use the Placidus system unless I'm doing readings like this, in which I do kind of lean into whole sign just because it helps encapsulate. Now, if you know where the specific moon is at and you know your placements, always look at the Placidus part. But that's my take. But yes, I am a Western astrologer. Just to let you know. Cool. I have studied, I don't want to say everything. I have studied a bit of everything and I have done readings in a bit of every system before I decided on where I'm at, just to give you some context. They were all accurate, but this has been what I've seen give the most result to people, to where when I give specifics that aren't from whole sign, people are like, how did you know that? That's the difference. Just to give you some context. Okay. Sorry, just wanted to make sure to break that down. Well, actually, it does make sense to break that down because we're going to talk about Gemini. Geminoskis. I know you were waiting, but you like a good yap yourself. The word, so that's where I learned it from. I learned from watching you, Geminis. Oh, Gemini. Oh, okay. Gemini. All right. Here's what I got. Here's the vibe. So, you can use your side reel if you know. Just at the end of the day, every time I pull for energy, it's for that energy. So, if excuse me, sorry, I usually lean away from the mic for that. But yeah, if whatever resonates to you as I'm saying it in your chart, feel it through. That's the real answer. Nine of Swords. Okay, so with the Nine of Swords, Gemini, y'all are overthinking. But you're not just overthinking, Gemini. Y'all are overthinking and yearning. Gemini, who caught your eye? Because there's something with the Page of Swords that always just looks to me as like someone who's just like the really classic cliche 90s. I'm walking by and like, there they go. They've just slipped across. They slipped across my way. I don't know how I can ever contact them. I'll never know how I can contact them again. It was just so nice to see them exist. It's like, or you can ask them for their number. It is 2025. And ask them the number. Don't ask for no Snapchat. Don't ask for no Instagram. Ask for their number. Real talk. And if they don't give you your number, that's because they don't like you for real. If you don't want to give your number out, it's because you don't like them for real. This is food for thought. It's for everybody. But specifically you, Gemini. But it's actually for everybody. You know what I'm saying? The other parts of this Gemini is that like through all of this stress that you're dealing with, you're actually like trying to like build your language and your vocabulary. I think a lot has changed since Pluto's gone into Aquarius and like how people listen to you or like perceive what you're saying. So this is something to keep in mind. Don't stress it too much, but you are starting to like learn more and you're feeling the pressure of that change too. So you are feeling the effects as Pluto in Aquarius. Your voice is going to be important. You're just figuring out why your voice is about to be important. So give yourself some time. Don't rush anything right now. That's for Geminoski. This is for Cancer, rising, moon, and sun, but mostly your rising and sometimes the other stuff. All right. So for Cancer, we have the King of Swords here, right? So Cancer, this is you getting real tactical, real mental, real cerebral. And it's going to feel weird because usually Cancer, y'all are like in the full part of that emotional world. Usually Cancer, y'all are in the full part of like expression and beyond. But this is really showing where it's like, you need to kind of get a little bit colder. And I don't know how else to frame that. And I hope you know what I mean. You have a big heart, Cancer rising, right? But some people are trying to like use that big heart in their stakes of control. And that is where you must, for lack of better terms, it ain't none, cut that bit off. And the reason why I'm saying it like this is because like the King of Swords is like discerning. I have the discernment not to mess with this person. Versus maybe saying F them forever. This is you like knowing how to remove yourself from these things. So Cancer, this is less about you being like the nice, loving people in the room and knowing who deserves their love and who doesn't. That was raw, but it is what it is. Leo, this is your full moon. Leo, this is your full moon. Please don't act a fool. Unless you want to act a fool. Then I'll pull this card for you. Okay, so we have the 10 of Wands, right? The 10 of Wands, and underneath we have the Wheel of Fortune, choice the fortune. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, right? All right, the Wheel of Fortune is, honestly, Leo, y'all looking up, but there's a lot of work ahead of you. Similar to Taurus, unfortunately, in that regard. You have so much shit to do, Leo. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as I started thinking about it intuitively, I'm like, oh, you know, y'all are about to be like, Like the other side to this Pluto and Aquarius is that it's kind of bullying y'all Leo a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Leo used to be way easier for y'all to get everybody attention and to draw in the crowd. But now like there's so many new crowds. And you're like, oh, I didn't realize this. So the reason why this is the case is because now the wheels is turning in your favor. Now the crowd's coming your way. Oh my God! Now I was so insecure for X amount of time because I didn't know if anyone was watching me. But now I'm seeing they all saw the whole time and they want me to do this and blah, blah. Oh, were you ready for that? Well, now you gotta be. Well, now you gotta hop to it. Well, now you gotta show up and show out, right? So the idea behind all of this too is that yes, there is this need to like carry a lot forward right now, but it's all for your benefit and all for your greater luck. So keep that moving, Leo. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, this is for the Virgos in the building. This is for my Virgos that are clearly not virgins in terms of the actual archetype. Okay, because y'all know, respectfully. All right, let's get it. So, Virgo, right? Okay, Virgo ain't bad. Oh, never mind. Okay. Decent, intensive, not particularly bad, but intensive. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Judgment card. Now, the Judgment card is one of the wildest cards, in my personal opinion, in the tarot because it's literally the sky being ripped open by the angels of heaven coming down, screaming with the trumpets of like change, right? Like, and I'm saying it this way, Virgo, because I think that y'all have been so stagnant in terms of your energetic. You're like, something has to change. Well, this is a change. And that's what you've been looking for. And guess what? There's a lot of abundance that actually comes from this, right? As you dig into this change, Virgo, there's a lot of change and good things that start to happen. It doesn't look good at first. I'll be honest with you. Like, it doesn't look good at first. But it does end up turning around and resolving afterward, just to give you this context. So just wanted to let you know that. And that's been the case, right? So, yeah. I think that's all I have. That was really short. Sorry, Virgo. I know y'all like simple stuff, but that's really all I had. Like as soon as I finished that, brain said, doop, next one. All right. So I'm gonna honor that. Libra. Libroski. Libra. Lihoski. What's up? Eyes. Hi, Libras. But Libra, what we got for you, right? We have Libroski. So Libra rising specifically, but also moon and sun, depending on how you feel. We have the Eight of Wands. What do we get for everybody at the beginning? Eight of Wands. Big change. We've been seeing big change, but this is finally big change in our favor, in our lives, and in our world. Now, Libra, this goes double as much for you. And you had the Knight of Pentacles. So Libra, y'all are about to come into something that allows you to be a little bit more patient, that allows you to keep a different pace, that allows you to keep a different rendition of how you move your energetic and how you move your energy. Libra rising, I think that you're really getting into this place too, where if y'all are actually about to get into a relationship or business or something that's like a little bit more long-term, this also makes a lot of sense for you as well. So that's something I want to point out for Libra, that there might be like a potentiality in terms of either relationship, love, or something new happening in like the work field. So yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was what I had to say for you, Libra. Stay pretty. The world needs it. Okay. Scorpio. Scorpio. It's your turn. Scorpio. It's your turn. It's your turn. Scorpio. Ace of Wands. Y'all trying to get that slang-a-dang-a-lang stuff. You can't have it. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna chill out. What I can say though is that we have the Five of Wands. So Scorpio, the girlies are fighting. Scorpio, the girlies are fighting. They're clawing. They're snatching weaves. It's. I'm sorry I stopped there. I just had a flashback. I'm sorry, my bad. Anyway, what I can say in terms of the girlies being fighting and all this extra stuff, right? The idea of this is that the Ace of Wands is like, yeah, everyone's fighting over there. That's cool. I know the actual secret. If I told them the secret, everybody might start fighting. Or better yet, if I told them the secret, everyone's gonna start fighting, right? This kind of I kind of just want to make this reference because I just thought it was really funny. It's not funny in real time, but it was funny the way that they filmed it. So basically, there's this reality TV show. I believe it's only like Latin. If anyone knows what I'm about to talk about, drop in the comments. I believe homie's name is Montoya, but there's this like I saw it on I saw it on Twitter. I'm gonna call it Twitter. So F you Kanye for that. I'm still calling Twitter and everything else you said, but that's a different story. That's why your poster is on the floor because it's too nice to throw away, but that's where it belongs right now, sir. Um, but oh yeah, the T Montoya. There we go. So Montoya, I'm on Scorpio. There we go. So Montoya, apparently, it's just it's going to tie together when I explain this. Montoya is this guy, decent looking dude, whatever. He's dating this woman on the show. I think he got a lap dance from this lady, and his partner was not very keen to that. So I don't know the fullness of the show, so please do not quote me on this. But basically, there's this scene where Montoya's lady starts to basically get with another dude instead, because out of spite, out of revenge, out of whatever, right? And the reason why it reminded me of this like five of like wands energy is because like as much fuss and like BS and him running and screaming because they're literally showing him a video film of like a spy cam of like them getting into bed with each other and doing all this. And so he's screaming, he's ripping his shirt off, he's crying on the beach, he's running alongside the beach, there's lightning in the background. It is one of the most dramatic scenes of cinema I've seen in my entire life. It might be Temptation Island, low key. But I watch enough reality TV to like know how funny it is and sometimes sad, to be honest, right? But the reason why I'm explaining it this way is because like dude got screwed over in the worst of ways on national television and everything else. But the Ace of Wands part to this is like as much as like he might have got screwed over in that one area, you know how many other random ladies that are probably gonna match his vibe or watching this man scream and run across the beach and be like, but this is for love and this and the third. Like, you know how many people may have like that may have opened the door for him to real and genuine, sincere like love and passion. So it's like, yes, Scorpio, things might look a little bit weird, but like there's this like greater scheme thing that's happening in terms of that. And I think that's like a similar type of energetic. And also I just want everyone to watch man run on the beach with the lightning behind him because like it's just great cinema. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Enough yapping on that. This is for my Sagittarians, Swagitarians. Okay. For Sag rising, sun and moon as well. That's what you're feeling. All right, Saggy. Let's see what we got. Sag. Oh man, y'all got drop stuff. Okay, one sec. Okay, cool. So we have the Seven of Pentacles. I have tennis balls. So we have the Seven of tennis balls, and we also have Temperance, right? So ironically, Temperance is a Sagittarius card. Sag. So like there's this like coming back to self that's happening. But it's like your coming back to self is greater than it's ever been. And this is the way I want to put this. So where most of the time, Sag, if you believe in something hard enough, you could bounce back stupid hard, right? Like if you believe in something, like you could like typically bounce back. And even if you like, as a Sag, I used to do this thing in school, which is the most Sag thing I think I could ever think of now. I say, whenever I would be too tired, it's one as I'm saying this. Whenever I'd be too tired in class, I used to just put my head down, but I was still awake. Like I just used to put my head down. I was still awake. I was still conscious. I was still listening to everything that was going on. So teachers used to be assholes about it and be like, well, Chad, what was the last thing that I said? Or what's your take on this? And I would get up, give them like the perfect take, and like lay my head back down, right? And at first it was like, are you just doing this to be ass? I'm like, no, like I'm paying attention. I just literally be too tired. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's life. Now, Sag, you're planting the seeds, so it's like when the teacher knows you're in the front, they know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost as if Sag is like whatever seed you're planting right now is going to help you actually be the chill person that you know you are, versus the crash out that people want you to be for their own entertainment, unless it involves them. But that's neither here nor there. But that's the sad part to everything, where it's like you're watching your actual desires grow, and you don't even know what work you have to do for it yet. But just keep it in mind, keep an open space, and that's gonna change and pull through. Ooh, man, we be reading out here. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get to Capricorn, right? Capricorn, mostly your rising, sometimes your sun or moon. Let's get it. For my Capri Suns in risings, we have the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is hot, for lack of better terms, right? The Queen of Wands is like the pop star girly who retired from being a pop star girly and then decides to just drop an immaculate album like every once in a while, you know, or like make a real scene with it, so to speak. Now the Queen of Wands, in terms of how this works for you, Capricorn, right, is that like y'all are kind of like unearthing or like coming out of the woodworks on something, and people are gonna start to like want to like work with you a lot more, Capricorn. So that's something to keep in mind, of where like people have been looking to like find your talent. People have been looking to find your vision. So let's say that you are this pop star person. This is people coming through being like, yo, listen, we listen to the music, like screw all the numbers. We just want to make things work. That's the kind of vibe that's coming through for you, Capricorn. So keep that in mind. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Aquarius. Aquarius, right? Let's see what's pulling up for you on this full moon. Happy birthday to y'all, Aquarius. Happy solar return. Hope all the best has been going on for your season, as Pluto has clearly been activating you to move things forward. So this is the I got the world in my hands, the master plan, but I don't know why I'm still calling you card. And the reason why that is because like Aquarius, where I think y'all have been waiting for a miracle, which is still actually viable. So don't just derail that after I said that. But it's like if you've been like waiting for a miracle, this is trying to show you that like the miracle is in the first step. The miracle is in taking the first step. I know sometimes Aquarius, y'all could be like, oh, I don't want to bother people, or like, oh, I wanna step off, or like, oh, I don't want to be like too in the face and stuff like that. Mm-mm. You gonna have to let yourself rock out with it, for real, for real. That's the real change and difference that I see in terms of that. But yeah, I think for Aquarius in general, y'all just about to get into a really new space on having to like explain. Oh, having to explain where you're feeling on things. I accidentally started pulling, so I got the King of Cups. So like you're gonna have to start explaining how you feel about things, and then people are gonna actually care. And you'll be like, man, it kind of hurt my feelings when, and then next thing you know, your entire life changes. You just have to be emotionally. I'm a troll. I'm sorry. Okay, Pisces, Piscus fiscus. That's not the right word. That's not it. Ah, man. Okay. Excuse me for that. Brain is braining. All right, Pisces, my little fishes. This is for you. Pisces, so you have the King of Swords, and we have Temperance, right? And I think what this is saying, Pisces, is that like you have a lot, but you don't got it all your damn self. And I'm not saying this in a negative sense. I'm saying this in a sense to where it's like, as someone who rules this emotion, this intuitive space, these intuitive, illusory, artful, playful existence, fantasy-based worlds. Yes, I just said a lot of things for that. But I don't know if y'all can hear this airplane, but it seems as though the city is back in order, so that's good. I'm glad that this airplane's interrupting live streams versus other things, so it's a beautiful time. back to Pisces. Pisces, we also have the temperance card for you, right? So what I think was going on with you, Pisces, is that y'all are learning to temper what other people have been saying about you or towards you about things. So like, let's say like you want to do a creative project and someone was like, that's logistically impossible. It's because it was logistically impossible. But now, how do we change that to where we do make it possible? Where do we put in more art, or where do we compromise? And it's learning how to navigate the conversations of both roads that'll take you to where you have to be, right? So for Pisces in general, I think one of the things that's coming up in terms of this full moon in Leo is that you're learning that like sometimes it's in the details where you get to like fully express your creativity instead. So I hope that that's giving some credence to that and some possibility. But yeah, that's what I have for all the signs. Anyone have any last questions before I start to head into the mini readings and stuff? Again, always blessed and happy to rock with y'all. I know some of y'all like to stay after this just to like support the vibes or to just hang out. I made sure to leave off the, what's it called? I'm leaving off the monetization usually for the first part of these readings until after I have them posted. So usually the lives I want to have like live, and then afterward there will be like advertisements, and I'll put the timestamps and the whole nine. And I will get back to all the people I need to respond to, because I have been very bad at that in the last week after being stupidly responsive for like way too long. Anyway, let me leave that right there. So this is just the last call in general in terms of if you want a mini reading for today. Also, for real, look at that subscription if that's something that you're doing. Granted, either way helps me out and has always shown me love and always support me. I just want to make sure that for the people that are really looking for like more or want that constance, that was also an option. But it is a subscription. I totally get it. That's not your thing. I don't sign up for every subscription either. But if you are one of those people that don't want to like relook at it and be like, when is he on live, and figuring that out, it's a cool option. Okay, so I'm gonna get into the live readings in just a second. I'm going to be taking a hot second to exist one more time, because I've been learning that taking breaks during my live stream is important for me. So make sure that you cruise the website in the meantime. I should be back in the next 3 minutes max. So until then, enjoy the music that I forgot to change before. Okay. Let me know. Let me know. Oh, oh. those are so
Knows